What's good, fight fans? It's your boy Tim is the best, and I'm back with another episode of Punch Drunk. 4, 1, 2. You know, man, I've been chilling for a minute, just sitting back watching what's going on. There's a lot of shit that I wanted to make videos on, but I chose not to. But something just came across my wire today that really caught my attention, and I want to talk about it a little bit. But before I do, I want to say shout out to my homies out here. I made a couple friends out here in this boxing game. You know what I mean? So shout out to my man's Heavy Bag Boxing TV. If you ain't down with his channel, go check him out. Go subscribe to him right now. Shout out to my man Sean the Dawn. Anyway, I know y'all see who I got up on the screen. I know by the title, y'all already know what we're gonna be talking about out here today, because this nigga is saying some crazy shit recently, you know, and it been really catching my motherfucking attention, bro. Like, what is this crazy punch drunk nigga talk? Alright, so listen, before I even start going in on this fool, I just want to say that they interviewed him the other day, and shout out to Fight Hype TV. They interviewed him, and he's all aggressive and shit, bullying and shit, when talking about, you know, Showtime boxing, you know, quitting after damn near 40 years on the air and all that stuff that we all pretty much already know about. I ain't gonna go into all that stuff, but what I am gonna go into is the fact that when they asked him who he thought was the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, this nigga said Gervonta Davis, which is actually, you know, that's not a bad choice to me, but when it comes down to, because I got Gervonta Davis as like number 3, definitely, yeah, definitely number 3 in the world behind Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. I got Crawford at 1, Canelo at 2, and Gervonta at 3. Now, anyway, that's another issue, another video for another day. But this nigga is saying that Gervonta Davis is the number 1, and he said that he thinks that he's the number 1 reason because he make the most money and he's the most popular in the sport. And yeah, that ain't a reason to say a nigga's the best fighter in the world, because he only fight, like, let's be honest, when it comes to Tank Davis only fight B to D level competition, and he stays somewhere in between that B and C level, you know what I mean? But every once in a while he'll get a D level competitor, like let's say Hector Garcia. We say he's D level, you know what I mean? Just somebody who Tank plucked out of nowhere, and they got a bad habit of fighting fighters who's like coming up 2 or a couple coming up weight classes and shit to fighting. Besides Ryan Garcia, he don't really fight up. He usually fights down, stays in between that 130, 126, 130 pound range. Don't really fight a lot of 135 pounders. I want to see Tank fight more like that. So I don't think that nigga's number 1 just because of the competition he fight. You can't just judge a nigga being the best fighter in the world just because of his competition. I mean, just because of how much money he make. Terence Crawford shows levels of skill. You know what I mean? When you compare talent, like talent wise, Canelo Alvarez, anybody in the top 10 ain't even nowhere near skills wise as good as Terence Crawford, in my opinion. He kind of checks all the boxes when you're looking for in a great boxer. So, you know, there's levels to this shit, and he's probably at the highest level I've never seen since Floyd Mayweather. You know, in terms of boxing, where Tank ain't really checking every single box.